Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland says her next budget will be fiscally prudent because we're heading into uncertain economic times. But if the best indicator of future performance is past practice, then there's reasons to be skeptical. At the Liberal Cabinet retreat in Hamilton this week, the government received a litany of bad news from economists. For example, they said that in terms of the promises the government has already made, their economic projections may be too rosy and it may cost $60 billion more than they anticipated. They were also told that the recession expected this year could be longer and deeper than was previously predicted, and that interest rates could remain higher and the inflation rate could remain higher than previously forecast. Now, the current inflation rate is 6.3%. It's come down from a previous high, but it's more than 200% higher than what the target is for the Bank of Canada and the government, which is 2%. In terms of the bank rate, the cost of borrowing, the benchmark Bank of Canada rate is now 4.5%. A year ago, it was 0.25%. Now, what does that mean? What that means is the government has to spend billions and billions of dollars more paying interest on its debt, because the government has to pay its debts, which currently in Canada are $1.1 trillion, just like everybody else has to pay higher interest for their mortgages and their car loans. So what that means is that the government now has to commit more and more money just to interest on debt, not the principal $1.2 trillion, and where does that money not go? Well, it doesn't go into healthcare, for example. So what we really need right now is a federal government focused on giving us the things we absolutely need, such as better healthcare, and having the discipline not to give us things that would be nice to have, but we just can't afford. For example, in 2019, now that's the year before the pandemic hit, the Trudeau government said when it was elected in 2015 that we would have had a $1 billion surplus in 2019. Well, they kind of overspent because they ended up with a $39.4 billion deficit. And so at the moment where we need a government whose strength is fiscal restraint, we have a government that has only demonstrated its lack of fiscal restraint. Let's hope it does a lot better this year. I'm Laurie Goldstein of Sun Media. We're always interested in hearing your views, and please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and our YouTube channel.